Hey guys, what's going on? So I'm here to talk about my first ever supplement usage and experience. Now, contrary to many popular beliefs that I think people may assume, my first ever experience with supplementation wasn't the best. Um, you remember the U magazines and how they used to have those weight loss transformations when, this old buddy used to weigh 150 kgs and now he drops to 80 kgs and he would have his pants like shown like that, or even a tummy that would lose a shit ton of weight and kind of have a dress size before and after. I was thrown to that mix when I was about 11 or 12 years old. Now, many of you may or may not know my background story, but growing up I was very overweight. I was bullied. I was verbally abused. Um, Depression obviously reigns supreme when you're that kind of age, and that's all you know. And that's all you basically get fed is that you amount to nothing, you're overweight. You know, even these things have been said by family members and stuff like that. So I was going through a very difficult patch in my life back then. This was obviously before I discovered the self discipline that bodybuilding would eventually give me in the future. So this was around the age of 11 or 12. My mother actually got me into it because it's a funny story because she obviously saw that I needed to lose weight. So I tried everything. I mean, I tried the Provita thing. I tried Provita with the cream cheese. That was the fad back in the day. I tried all that kind of shit. None of it was really working. I was just unhappy, depressed, fat, obviously. So that was my first experience with that kind of supplementation. Now, obviously, when you see something in magazines, you can assume that it's going to work. You see these people, they did it. How did it work for them? Well, basically, they only tell you that they use this supplement. There wasn't any small writing, nothing. It was just like they use this for 3 months or whatnot, and they lost all this weight. It's a miracle pill. So I thought. So I used it, and it didn't work. It just made me even more hungry. It made me even more depressed. So once that didn't work, and I also felt really shit as well. That's what I can definitely remember, using that, feeling shit. Now, as I said, this was before any kind of sports supplementation or any kind of like enhancements in that kind of regard. Because then again, I was just trying to lose weight because I was tired of being bullied. I was tired of being fat. Period. So I needed to know what to do because I couldn't live with being verbally abused anymore. I I don't like to share this because people like to think maybe it's publicity stunt, but when I was younger, I did, try and commit suicide. Um, it's not easy to talk about, definitely not, but these things have to be addressed because it happens. Millions of people lose their lives every year of suicide, and if this can bring some sort of closure, some sort of assistance, then it's helping. I don't care how people take this; it's their own opinion, their own prerogative. So they can take it as a one, but that's the bad end of life for me. Obviously, I've had my experiences since then, but that was probably the worst time because I can still vividly remember it. Open my father's cupboard, taking out his gun, not knowing if it was loaded or not, gun in my mouth, just wanting to end it all, just because I couldn't handle it anymore. Um, it's just, it makes you feel some kind of way, and people are like, how can you be so selfish to take a life? But people don't understand what kind of mental torment and torture it is, especially for a kid. You're not taught any of these goals, or I mean, you're not taught any kind of value as to how to cope with stress, as to how to handle these bullies and whatnot. Because obviously back then it was kind of hush hush, it happens, get over it, kind of thing. But obviously now, hopefully there's more things implemented to try to stop this kind of shit with the bullying and whatnot, because it can end someone's life, can make them utterly depressed and miserable without them even telling it to you. Um, so it's just people got to man up and stop that kind of shit. So yeah, I mean, after that experience was done, I was still on the verge of wanting to do something with myself to lose the weight. So my next experience was probably even worse, because this is why, like, I am who I am today. This is why I want to educate and help and bring value to people's lives. It's just because it's so important, because you give someone their trust. All right, what works? Tell me what works. I'm in dire straits. But what works? I want to gain muscle. What works? I want to lose fat. What works? I want to feel good. I want a good pre-workout. People give you your trust, so it's so important how you direct them. I feel if you direct them to something shit, they're not going to come back to you. It's simple like that. but if you direct them to something that's good and something that works, they'll come back to you. And I've had over 15 years of experience with supplementation, using it and whatnot. It's your own opinion whether I lived or not. I don't give a shit. But the main point of the matter is that, you know, I've had my time. I've had my fair share of things. And that's what led me to my next experience, which is probably one of the worst, because this was a time when I needed to lose weight. So I walked inside the store with my gran. This was like, I'm still like 11 or 12. And I'm looking for something to lose weight. So I approached a woman in the pharmacy. I was like, you know what, my gran did. She was like, you know, he wants to lose some weight. You know, just to make him feel better, to boost his confidence, whatnot. All right, cool. So this woman, you know what she advised me to take? Or she told my gran, all right, he has this USN fast growing anabolic. You know, obviously take it how you want. You know, a kid that's obviously in the calorie surplus taking a mass gainer ain't gonna lose weight for shit. So I don't know. You know, he has a kid, 11, 12 years old, 10 years old, whatever, taking a supplement that was promised to help him lose weight, to help him boost his confidence. Obviously he's going to take that because that's what the woman who works at the pharmacy is supposed to know what she's talking about, advised. So, you know, obviously that didn't work, and that kind of led me to eating disorders where I just wouldn't eat, and I ended up losing a lot of weight. And basically from there on, that's when I kind of found bodybuilding. My uncle geared me towards bodybuilding, and that's where it kind of stood. And the most important thing about this whole, you know, fitness and everything else is the mental aspect that cannot be denounced. It's definitely there. No matter what people say, they're going to feel it one way or another. I was one of the first ones that will be like, you know, how does someone, you know, get depressed? How does someone want to commit suicide? Then you face it yourself. You know, it's not fun. You know, that it's just, there's so much more to life than what people think. You know, so much more to life than muscle, so much more to life than, you know, training and this and that. The whole mental aspect is so vital and so important that you cannot overlook it whatsoever. So that's why I am who I am today. And, you know, people that know me, people that follow me know that I'm just trying to do my bit to help improve, help advise people's lives in the best way forward. You know, as I said, I won't give any false information, false advice. You know, whatever I bring forth to the table is something that I've used. You know, I just want to give the most honest and unbiased feedback there is. Whether it's taste test, you know, taste is so much more important than what it used to be. I mean, I remember those days where you used to buy the Saltec and Nitrotec and, you know, all those other kinds of proteins, the EAS and whatever else. You know, stuff didn't taste good, but you just used it because it was there and it worked and it had it in the magazines. All that influence was still there. Now it's a different kind of influence with the social media influencers and whatnot, but the fact remains that you drinking it, if you think it's not good, find something else. You know, you don't have to stick to one product, and that's what I'm trying to get at, is that even though I'm a supplement reviewer and, you know, I've had my fair share, I still don't, like, you know, maybe tomorrow I might have a different favorite. If someone sends me something and maybe I might like it. So I take people through the whole journey. I want to improve their life, not just on a supplement viewpoint, but just on a daily aspect where, you know, it's mental health brought forth to the table, where it's nutrition, where it's maybe training, where something, you know, something someone might sit and say, hey, you know, this guy's trying to help. And that's what I'm all about at the end of the day. You know, I'm not trying to be here for the fame. It's not a publicity stunt. You know, I do because I'm passionate about it, because I love it, because it's given me value in my life where it took me out of these dark places and has really, like, you know, positioned me in a much better spot mentally, physically, and everywhere else. And, you know, it's just like every day is a new day to start over. And that's one of the most important aspects people don't see. Every day is a new day to start over. It's never too late. And again, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So you keep doing you, you keep pushing on. And in the day, only you can make it happen, no one else. No hater, nothing, only you. You can make it happen. So, you know, that's basically my experiences, guys, when it came to supplementation. And obviously, therefore, you know, learning really, really does help. You have to do your research yourself. And that's the most important advice I can probably give, is do your own research yourself. Go in headstrong, knowing that what you know is good enough. You know, not but someone behind the counter is going to end up selling you because they, you know, trying to push their product. It's what you know. It's what you've read, what you analyze, what you study, and that's power. You know, knowledge is power, and never ever underestimate the power of knowledge, and more importantly, the power of mental health. So yeah, that's it, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and yeah, brought some value to your day. So thanks for watching.